America doc, they counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family, then bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a Sunday night version of Thursday Night CrossFit Talk and Versus Through the Ages combined into one show this week as we look at 24.2. Couple things I have to get off my chest. One, started my new Lego project today. 3,000 pieces. And already can't find one in like the first layer. In the pile of it's like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, that's a travesty.
The only good news is it's like it's going to be exposed like throughout the build. So like I'm just going to start building, and when I hopefully as they reduce, I will find it. Yeah, Jamie is driving to bury a body, but shh, don't tell anybody. So that's one thing I have to get off my chest. That is so frustrating.
What is it? What is the set?
So it is Soldier Field where the Bears play. And it has a much bigger footprint than the helmet did. So it's about yay wide.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so what I was building is the field, laying the sod, and the white lines for the sidelines, and one of the pieces of the sideline is missing, and it's a piece that has a flat top, so doesn't have the dimples on the top, and it is like it's got to be the only one in the whole box of the 3,000 pieces. So they just announced Mario Lego Kart sets coming in a year or so. So my nephew he does Legos too. He has the original NES Lego set with a little TV with Super Mario on the TV. It's so sweet. So sweet. But yeah, so that's that. My other big frustration of the night is I'm watching the Oscars. Yeah. They come up with long form documentary, and All Access with Jamie Latimer did not get nominated. What's up with that?
I don't know.
I thought it was a hell of a documentary. It should have been nominated for an Oscar, but here we sit.
I never understand how any of that works.
Yes, Kenneth, John Cena was naked to commemorate the streaking incident from the 1970s. It was a pretty funny bit, actually. So started to watch Oppenheimer today, just so I had a clue, because I think the only Oscar nominated movies I've seen are Barbie and the Holdovers.
The what?
The Holdovers.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Very good. But I started watching Oppenheimer today and sucked in pretty good on that. Looks like it's a good movie. So anyway, with that, we're going to get to 24.2. Jamie and the team did it. I took a quick peek. At the leaderboard. Some interesting names at the top. Currently, this is only Sunday, so all could change. But Grace Walton is currently leading on the women's side, with Ariel Lowen in second, Anna Carlson in third, Laura Horvat in fifth. And that's really everybody of substance on the women's side. And then for the men, did you see who's leading? Well, the legit score.
Well, somebody got over 1,000. Now I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Tudor Magda.
Yes. I saw that last night, and I was like, Aaron, Tudor's in first.
Yeah. After a 38th finish on the first workout,
I'm floored, dude.
Yeah. Over 1,001 reps.
Yeah. I'm kind
Heinrich-
of stoked to see him.
Heinrich
as-
Hyperleinen, 3 reps behind.
I could see that. That one makes sense.
Dallin Pepper, 6 reps behind.
He crushed it. Not surprised.
Yonakoski tied him.
Wow.
Yeah. Adler at 980.
Okay.
And Roman at 971. And anybody else?
Bellner was up there. He had a pretty good score.
Yella Hosta, 956.
Good for him.
Vellner? I don't see. Vellner's 2 behind Yella.
Okay.
954.
Yep.
So, yeah. But Tudor's having a hell of an open.
I know. It's been engine capacity work. Like, I'm stoked for him.
Yeah. So, because we talked a lot about him this year, like kind of shit in the bed, not
I kind of shit talked him a lot.
a lot.
I know.
And he's
proving me
I think
wrong.
he's saying now, like, I'm going to prove Jamie Latimer wrong.
Hey, if that's what it took, I'll do it all. I'll do it whatever he needs. All the way to the games, I'll shit talk him.
I like the kid for some reason. I don't know what it is about him that I like. He's just so likable.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to talk to him and you do like post-event interviews with him. He's just so cool. Now we know who she's burying. Well, she had to stop burying Tudor because he's come back to life.
Yes.
Wad Zombie says I watched 2 terrible movies today: the new Indiana Jones and the Marvels. Well, don't trash talk my Indiana Jones. I thought the new one was actually pretty good. I have not earned build up the courage to watch the Marvels. I've heard such bad things, so I didn't do that.
That sort of sucks.
But but I love the last Indiana Jones. For someone who's been watching it since I've been 12 years old, and I thought they ended it in a cool way. But we can talk about that later. All right. The other big news of the weekend is Ellie Turner made a post this weekend announcing that she is taking a step back from the 2024 season. I'm trying to share it here. Whoops, wrong screen. Dang it. So anyway, here we go. So she made this post yesterday. I'm not competing in the 2024 CrossFit Games season. I'm devastated and still trying to process that. I won't be competing in what would have been my 7th season. I love competing and I know I want to do this for a long time, which sometimes means making a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. I'm not healthy mentally or physically and haven't been for some time now, and that's not how I like to compete. So she kind of goes on to repeat that and then just say that this also doesn't mean I won't be competing at all this year. I'm just taking a step back from the traditional CrossFit Games season, and we'll hopefully be back on the competition floor later this year. So we wish her well. Again, another one of those people that I've met along the way that I really liked her when I talked to her. And I hate speculating about these things, but I guess I'm going to.
Okay.
The pressure of being with Justin has got to be pretty immense. And I'm not saying anything about their relationship, but I'm saying that, like, he was a 2-time champ. She's probably gotten shit because he didn't do so well this year after they announced coming together. And people are probably blaming her for that. And that has nothing to do with her.
Right.
And so I don't know. I just feel for her at times, and I think she takes unneeded flack just because she's dating Justin.
Yeah. So I know there's been some talk about Fikowski's injury and Fikowski, like none of us knew that he was injured, right?
Oh, we all knew. He just didn't confirm it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of knew something was going on, but like, yeah, it's something he never talked about. And now he comes out 2 years later, was like, yup, my meniscus was torn at the games. And I spent like, but like, and I hear back and forth of, that was cool that he never spoke about it. And like, and then you can kind of hear the opposite. Some people are like, I think it's great that Amanda's talking about her shoulder injury. Like, we know Ellie's back. Something was going on with Ellie's back last year. I kind of hate we can't talk about the injuries. And maybe it's more so with the women. Like no one ever, I feel like none of us really knew exactly what's going on with Emma Carey. And if you have these nagging injuries that you're hiding, I think you're doing a disservice to the rest of the field. And maybe like even younger girls coming up like that think they have to hide an injury. Like, be honest about that stuff. There are things you probably should back off and rehab and not fight through. And there's probably things that like maybe are going to cause long-term damage that you fought through. Like sometimes it's probably not worth it. I don't like it's great that Brent didn't use it as an excuse. Like, just be more open about what's going on.
Well, and there's a difference in degree, right? Brent got hurt and still finished third that year, right? He was able to go on and compete. Now, he had rock tape the entire way down his leg from his butt cheek to his ankle.
Right.
Like, people knew something happened.
Right.
Right. But he was still able to compete. He just couldn't run at that point. Luckily for him, the long runs were over.
Right.
When it comes to Ellie and like Emma and those people, these are injuries that are keeping them out.
Right.
Like, not able to move on in different things. So I think there is a difference there. Like, if you're having these, especially I've had the lower back stuff, like it is ungodly painful.
Right.
And you need to take care of yourself in that. And I think it's okay to say, listen, I have a back thing and I need to take time off to rest it. It's the only way it's going to get better. But her post makes it sound like it's more than just the back. It's more than just something physical. Now it's turned into something mental.
Sure. And I would speculate maybe the not getting the exemption had to play a factor, right? Like, that's just more stress on traveling, being away from Justin. Like, sorry, let me get home. I have to think that played a role in the final decision. Maybe it is all physical, but
yeah, I've been where like the physical turns into mental, right? Like, at first you're dealing with the injury, you're trying to fight through it, and then it just keeps beating you down and beating you down and beating you down, and then it becomes mental. Like, am I ever going to get back? So I think you're on mute, just so you know.
Sorry. The TV
no,
was super loud. Aaron's not here. I don't know where he is. I had to turn that down.
So Kenneth blames Theo personally. Their dog. He's just a menace. And then he also asks, what are we up to on dropouts now? 12. Yes, we were at a number of 12.
That's a lot.
So only 28 of the 40 athletes from last year's games are competing individually at this point.
Crazy.
So, well, now you're home. Now we can talk about your video.
Okay.
And we can see your face and your reaction. So this week you weren't able, because of the setup, you weren't able to go all at one time. So we spliced this together into one video. So on the left side of the screen, we have Jamie in the forefront. We have Hailey in the background. And then on the right side of the screen, we have Jim going. And because of the timer they use that has a beep, I was able to sync everything up and make it actually go at the same time. So I'm going to share the screen and we can talk about it. All right. Are we ready?
Ready.
I don't have sound on it. I took the sound off.
Oh, okay.
So again, Hailey's in, as you can see, the arrows pointed to where everybody is. So you grab a hold of the rower. Did you have a plan for this? Were you looking at a pace?
Yeah, I was like, I had talked to Tristan in the morning before I went in. I feel like when it got announced, I was like, oh, this is a good workout. Like I should do well in this workout. I was thinking 2 minutes around was doable. Like that's just what came into my head. And then I started like, I didn't really see a whole lot of girls. Like TTT runs the sorry, Aaron just got home. TTT runs their like review, and so you can see, and Brandy McGoldrick and Mike McGoldrick went. And so I was watching her splits and I was like, this might be a little aggressive. And I think one person logged a score of like 900. I was like, so 10 rounds is probably like too aggressive. So then I like put up a pace chart and planned like 210 around or something. And my plan was to get like 840. So I wanted to roll like a 202 to 205, just more recovery there so that everything else stayed smooth. And I, talking to Jim when he got in, Jim struggles with double unders, which you're going to see here in a second. And I told Jim to back off the rower even more so that he like felt fresh when he got to the rope and could kind of work through those. Because when he gets tired, he trips even more. And then I'll take 20 seconds rest before he starts jumping again. And it's really a double under workout for him.
Yeah, you can see that because of the way he jumps, his arms out to the side, like all the things Dave from RX Smart Gear would tell you is not the way to do it.
Right. They've gotten better. We've been working. I mean, he's been working on his jump rope a lot, and typically they've gotten better. I just think this is a long workout with like a lot of accumulated fatigue, and when they go for him, they kind of go. It's just.
Yeah, I say all that knowing he's 67 years old. Like if I can do double unders like that at 67, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Let's keep it moving.
Can I just say, I got a huge shout out to Alana Marcin. I got a message from her Friday. She got 100 double unders.
Nice.
I know, incredible. It's like her like. That's like, she's like, who gets double unders at 75 years old? You. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's just one of the coolest people I've ever met.
I mean, I was honored that she like messaged me that. Like, I love hearing things like that. It fired me up.
So in the background, we have Hailey, who is more of a power output athlete than you are. And you can tell on the stroke rate at which she's going. It's like big pull, slow return, big pull, slow. And listen, I can feel that. That's me. That's how I row. You are more the smooth, just keep it going.
Yeah. I typically, we've done so many rowing intervals. And I even like kind of did some of the dark horse stuff. And I've worked on taking like harder pulls and trying to go at like a 24 stroke weight. I think somewhere around there is what he suggests. I find that if I like, I like to be at like 32 stroke rate, and that just is smooth for me. Um, I think it's because I don't like to use my legs. I don't feel that's where the power is. So, and you will see like my knees are soft in rowing. I don't like push away like Hailey does. She'll like actually extend her legs. I think I would just rather sit there and pull steadily on that handle and kind of faster. And
Yeah, I watch Hailey and I'm thinking that looks like a mirror of me as a female. Like pull, hit the lap, return the rest of the way. And I'm all about the 24 strokes a minute.
yeah, I don't
And she's not that far behind you.
No, she was holding a great pace.
So for her, what was this workout?
It's kind of a double under workout for her. I think she has a couple rounds of trips in here. And we just kind of needed to manage that fatigue. I fortunately had a really smooth round workout here and had no trips on the double under, which I was extremely happy with. I just don't think I had same thing as last week. I just don't think I had like that sense of urgency. I didn't really go dark. I don't know. I'm missing that. And that's just me in online comps, and that's why I don't do as well. But
what would happen if Hailey hit a groove and got ahead of you? Would it make you go dark?
Probably. Yeah.
And like she's getting close on this one. And again, she thought she was retiring after last year's games. And she started at MSU, came to see you at the beginning of this year, and she's been slowly getting back into it.
Dude, week after week, there's significant improvements. Both her and Azariah, we've gone. So I just got home from Grand Trunk, so we all were there and just retested. Both of them each week have had significant improvements. I couldn't be happier with them. Yeah, she just keeps getting better and better.
Well, and while we're talking about this, Prodigy's podcast is featuring Hailey's parents this Wednesday. So check that out. And they're going to talk about what it's like raising a teen games athlete.
Oh, that's awesome.
And how to keep the balance in their life and all of that stuff. So you're getting to know Hailey on these. Now you'll get to know her even more when her parents talk about her on Wednesday. So I think it's mid-afternoon that they're going live.
Okay. I'll try to get the live. If not, I'll rewatch it.
And the crazy thing is they're being interviewed by Azariah's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So the two team members of Jamie's team represented by the parents on the Prodigy's podcast.
That's so cool. This seemed to be the like setup that most of the elites took on everything that I watched. When I retested today, we all set it up the way Jim has it. Maybe a hair closer with the deadlift towards the rower, but because Jim moves around kind of a lot in his stubs, Hailey and I don't. So we maybe had that a little bit narrower and stayed in our little center section there. And I actually preferred the setup we had this evening a little bit more than this. I felt like I was I don't know. I just felt like I was away from my jump rope and stepping in. And also this was Ron's rower from home, and the seat was staying back, and that was tripping me up because I'm just not used to that. I usually grab the seat and I felt like I couldn't find the seat all the time. Just weird little things.
So you went to Grand Trunk today,
mm-hmm.
and you and Hailey redid it, or did Jim go with you or no?
Jim came too, and Ronica.
All right. So what happened with the redo? Did you do better, worse? I think you said, I just want to catch up to what you said just a minute ago. Hailey and Azariah did better. Did you do better?
I did.
Of course you did.
Yeah. And I haven't messaged Tristan yet. He doesn't appear to be on here, so, but he was messaging me a little bit earlier today and basically was like, don't redo it. And I was kind of up in the air too, because listen, I'm not a big person on redos at all. And I have really no reason to, except for to help the team. Like, my scores have been fine both weeks. I just am really trying to make sure we make it to quarters, because it's kind of tight in North America East. And if I can help the team with a little bit better score, I will try. And like I said, I feel like I'm not going dark. So, well, why not try to push a little harder? Like, you know how it felt, try to push a little harder and see if you can't have an improvement. I just wanted to like row like a hair faster and just turn it up sooner, like round 7 or 8, like start kicking it in sooner than I did on Friday.
Yeah, if I tried to turn it up on round 7 and 8, it would never get turned up. Just saying.
Yeah.
Other side of the coin.
Yeah, I mean, like Tristan was like, I watched your video, so he watched this video. I sent this to him, and he's like, I don't really know where you're gonna pick up any time. Like, you didn't trip. And I was like, you're right. Like, really, I feel like in my head, I was like, so what? I'm gonna go retest this. I'm gonna move faster, probably more frantic, and that's just gonna like open up a door of trips and just mishaps. But it went really smooth. I'm really, really happy with it. I rode a little faster. I liked my transitions, and I held on to all the deadlifts unbroken. So
let me ask you this. Knowing you have a score in the books that is actually a decent score, because you finished this with, do you want to tell them yet, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, you can tell them. I finish round 9, and then I get back on the rower in round 10 with like 30 seconds left and get 150. So 825 was my score. 15 reps.
So let's say that in a way that is shows how impressive it is. You got into round 10,
mm-hmm.
and the guys on the announcement got into around 11 and didn't finish the row. So they were only a round ahead of you, men rowing. Very impressive. So now you come into today, your team's getting together to do this. Some are redoing. You decide you're going to do it. You already have a great score on the books. Does it allow you to like just throw caution to the wind and let it rip and see what happens?
Yeah. Yes, in a way. I'm still a very calculated athlete. That's just the way I am. But I'm really proud of this effort this evening. Like, I just pushed that little bit harder that I didn't really do on Friday. And I'm working on doing that, like going darker in the gym, in an online comp, because that's where I struggle. So yeah.
So let's talk about where does Jim stand right now? Is he in the top 25?
I'm not sure he's gonna be in the top 25 after this. He redid also tonight, and he did worse. His dubs were even worse tonight. I was counting for Ronica. Jim and Ronica went at the same time. And had I not been judging Ronica, I would have stopped him, because it took him like 4 or 5 minutes to get through the first round. Like, I should have just said, you're done, hold on, we'll wait 10 minutes and go again. Because he got better. as he went on, but he had wasted so much time in that first round. I think he tripped like 6-7 times. So we should have stopped and then restarted him, and I think he would have done better. So I think this score is going to hurt him a little bit, but he'll be fine. It's not like, I mean, he's fine.
So it also says in the rules that there's a minimum of 200 that make it to the next round.
Right.
And the 65 plus is not as robust as other divisions. Is he in the top 200?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So trying to get everybody through, just checking. So the team, have you calculated what place you have to be to make it forward with the team?
So I want to say it's like, I think there's 335 teams. So 25% would be 66 and so like 80, 83 ish.
Okay. And where do you stand after week 1?
We were like 121st last week. It was not great. I've been stressing, which is partly why I wanted to go again.
And when do you have to declare your 6 athletes?
When you start the quarterfinals.
So when that happens, that leaderboard could adjust too, because
no, they don't. That's what sucks. Like the open is like, you can use everyone in your gym, and some gyms will do that. And to be fair, we have a cup, like we've used another person's score too. So I think both Hailey and I have been our scorers every week, but we've had to use another guy's score. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the game, I guess. You just hopefully have enough good gym members of broad skills and have a home run hitter, because other teams do that, and then you get to quarters and teams that were that got in very easy can't get out of quarters. They're like last because it's not even their true team members. But yeah, I mean, I would like to think this week will move us up into a safe spot, or at least very close, and hopefully we have the same kind of workout that we can do well again. And I mean, I know it won't be a straight, like it won't be like this, but plays to our suits and we can have another higher finish and be safely in.
So you said you improved. You said Hailey improved. What did she get on the first go? It was just behind you, right? Like
Hailey was 772, I believe. So she got like 12 dubs in round 9. And talking to her after that, I was like, and so like you only need like 20 more seconds. You just need to finish those. I was like, we just need to finish that round, like at least. And we just need to find 20 seconds to do that. Like, I think for sure you can do that. And she was confident she could too. And she got through those dubs and 90 meters on the row, 80 or 90 meters on the row. So she had, she was like quite a ways ahead of pace.
So she got in the 800s.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your change in score?
I went to 847.
From 825.
So I made it off the row and got 7 deadlifts.
Very nice. So what did Jim end up with for his score? Do you remember?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. 5 rounds plus into some dubs, I think.
Okay. What's crazy though is like the deadlift is nothing for him. The row, he's keeping great pace. For him, it's just all about these double unders.
Correct.
And here's where he starts clock watching like the whole time.
Oh
like
yeah.
He'll miss. Look up at the clock.
Did you have the volume on when I sent this to you?
I laid his second, so I didn't have the volume on because
you missed out.
I still have the raw piece.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I'll go back and watch it.
I think he's cussing up a storm right now.
But yeah, I laid your piece and then his was easier to fit into a smaller area because it was just one person.
Mm-hmm.
And then I cut the clock out of one of your.
I had 30 seconds here in this attempt to row. And like I said, talking to Tristan, it was like, where do you, like, you got to get another 30, at least 30 seconds just to try to finish that row. And I was pulling hard here. Like, the fact that I got 150 here, I was pretty happy with. So it seemed like a tall order, but yeah, I felt pretty smooth when I was pulling a 139 there.
When you look back at Hailey and like she didn't miss on the dubs either, hardly throughout the whole thing. Like her dubs are good.
I think she had a few trips. I think today she only tripped like once, and I think she had one intentional break. But yeah, she crushed it.
We have a listener here, Mr. Kentucky Steve, number 9. Shoot, there we go. I'm 67 also. I managed 107 doubles. I started CrossFit 2 years ago and could not do a single under. Was determined to do it. RX was painful. 20 minutes whipping myself. Dude, that's freaking awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's what the Open's about. And that's why there shouldn't be a scale division.
I don't know. Like my son went RX and it was questionable whether that was the right choice.
Again, I'm not opposed to someone scaling it back. If their coach says this is appropriate, this is what you need to do. I just think go for it. Unless the weight's just too heavy, like just try it. Who knows what you're going to do? Steve says he did it again on Saturday and finished 8 rounds doing singles.
Nice.
And I'm cool with that.
I like that. Like, that's kind of what I tell some of my members. Like, try it. And then if you want to do the scaled for like a workout, or then go for it.
Yeah. Or go as far as you can RX. And if you get to a point where that, like it's say bar muscle ups and you can't do those, well then scale at that point. You just keep on trucking.
So Ken has a question here. Do you have someone giving you time hacks or are you looking at a clock the whole time? I am extremely analytical, Ken. I have an entire spreadsheet printed out with, like, I already had like the pace chart, like what a 205 would get you off the rower. And then I, 20 seconds for deadlifts, 34 seconds for double unders, and I pace out my rounds. And I had that sitting there for Friday's attempt, watched my video, wrote down where I actually finished, then took like 2 seconds off each round or more, like where I thought I could improve. And then I had a big whiteboard with where I wanted to be each round today. And as I get on the rower, I peek at the clock to see if I'm on pace. And I was ahead of pace the whole time. So I was pretty happy. If I wasn't on pace, I probably would have quit. But I hate to tell myself that because it's like giving myself an out. But I was feeling good. So I think I was like shaving like even 2 seconds off of my improved pace that I had written. So yeah, I was feeling good. Just kept going.
My one coffee show.
You what?
I'm down to one coffee show, but it's a big one.
And then I kind of do the same for Hailey. I like knew she wanted to finish that 9th round. Rewrote her paces and she was ahead of pace. So yeah, it was a great night. Azariah improved. It was a great night.
How much did Azariah improve?
I think he got 8:22, so I think he got like a few more meters than like 20 or I don't know, 30 more meters than Hailey. And I want to say he was like 750 the first time. So good. Big improvement.
Yeah. That's huge. So I'm anxious to see how you fall on the leaderboard this week.
I think
We'll
right
know
now,
more about that tomorrow night.
yeah, right now I think I'm first in 40 to 44, but someone may put a score in. We'll see. But
I
yeah.
meant the team, but okay.
Oh,
It's all about you.
the team, yes. So right now I think the team was like 67th, but they're still like the teams are they're calculated. Like people will not put their score in until Monday night. So I could estimate up to 20 teams are not in. And I think, like I said, I think we're around 65th, 7th. So I'd like to think we'll be like 87th or better. And that would make me feel better going into next week. So yes, I will be watching that closely.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I am going to answer you, Wad Zombie, Nick. I'm feeling better overall, like much, much better. But my body is getting rid of fluid, like a mad. Like I am peeing 27 times a day.
Jeez.
Might be a slight exaggeration, but yeah, I can only get like 2-3 hours sleep, and then I wake up and have to pee, but all of that coming out of my body is making me feel better. But yesterday, like my sinuses filled up again. And I think this crazy weather is killing me because we go from like 70 degrees to 25 degrees. Now we're going back up to 70.
Yeah.
This week. Like that's just killing me.
No, we had snow this morning. I woke up and I was like, what is going on?
You are correct. It is better than having to poop that often.
True.
So Jason Hopper, deadlift counts or not? Absolutely not.
I have watched so many of these 0.2 videos, and that seems to be the way elites deadlift, and it's frustrating to watch.
I thought he was asking about the final one.
Oh, yeah. I would say no, that didn't count.
Yeah, it only made it to the knees. No way.
Yeah.
This isn't a one rep where you have to have it off the floor
Yeah.
by X. This isn't a workout. The workout ends at 20 minutes. He did not complete the rep.
Yeah. I mean, we were going off the 1 clock. I don't know, but yeah, the one shot that I saw, no, definitely not a rep. Definitely didn't get it in time. But props for him to go over there and try it.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't believe he still had his wits about him because he looked like he was on the struggle bus hard. But man, Taylor tying Hopper on a row workout. What the hell? That dude is selling it out.
He is. It's been exciting.
That first work, that him and Dallin one was one of the most exciting things I've watched. Agreed. And why Fit War should happen more often.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Why Nick has to get on the stick and get those out there because goodness gracious, they're amazing. You get the right two people with the right workout.
Agree.
And he says, I know what Jamie's talking about, the soft shoulders and the soft lockout. Yeah. It is such a fine line getting your shoulders behind the bar.
Yeah.
Because so many people do not. And honestly, when I first started, I overextended back and actually hurt my back.
Yeah.
And so like my coach was trying to get me not to go back so far.
Mm-hmm.
But then there is a fine line where you don't get 3 points of whatever they call that, where your hips are extended, your arms are, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have to have the 3 points of whatever.
Yes.
And like there's times in competition I rode that line because I could, back in the day, I could deadlift fast.
Mhm.
And if you're going to let me get away with it, I'm going to go for it. So, Taylor's going to be a problem for the leaderboard in every competition. Hey, if you need help, we're here.
Yeah.
We got this. We got the same system Hiller does. We can back you. I think you could do it in masters. You could do it in teens. You could do a teen versus masters and elites. Like,
Mhm.
and the teens and the masters are starving for attention.
Very true.
But yeah, not that I'm trying to take over Hiller's gig, but if he's not willing to do it, I'll jump in. I'll be your Huckleberry. So, we got the tools. So feeling good after this week. We got one more week to go. Your friend is worried about you.
Friends worried about me?
I'm worried about you.
Why?
Because you are burning the candle at every end possible. And I know, like, it's not just you, it's like every affiliate, every gym owner in the country is going through that these 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And and so you have to be there for your members.
Mhm.
But you're an elite athlete trying to go to the games for your first time. And you're trying to do this team thing now, which means extra trips to Grand Trunk every week. Like, just take care of yourself.
I will.
And one more week to go. So, Kenneth says, burnout is real.
It is. I'm just trying to stay healthy.
Yes, please. How's the shoulder?
It is hurting me today. It was hurting me yesterday. That was the reason I was thinking about not doing it. Admittedly, I've been not wearing my brace this week. So I'm gonna wear it all week this week.
Was it training or was it the 24/2?
I almost feel like it was the deadlifts. I don't know though. It could have been all the handstand walking I did this week too. I don't know. We just did more handstand walking tonight, and it's sore. So I don't know. We'll scrape it and cup it tonight and watch it this week.
Well, I'm gonna have to come back up for quarters and semis to try to get the documentary into the Oscar nominations for next year.
Okay.
And maybe with 2, we'll have a better crack.
Okay.
But I think pretty much for sure next week I'm going to go over and hang out with Rudy. I talked to Lynette this week. I was going to go this week, but the weirdest thing happened where I slept like all night. And then my back, I was in the same position all night. So when I woke up, like my back I couldn't get it loose until later in the day. And they go pretty early Saturday morning.
Okay.
So next week I'm going to try to go over. I told Lynette, just me, no camera, just come over and hang out just to kind of see how he's doing. And his daughter, did you see she got her first muscle up?
I saw she did that. That was like a couple weeks ago at that camp, the South Land Competitors Camp or whatever.
Yeah, but since the camp, she got her first one, like in their gym. And then she just kept doing them.
Of course.
And when I talked to Lynette about her making the game, she's like, well, she doesn't have muscle ups yet. And well, scratch that off the list because now they're there.
Man.
So cool. And they're coming on the show after the Open.
Cool.
So we'll get to ask about what it's going to be like if Rudy and Leah both make the games. And how do you, as a parent, deal with that?
Mm-hmm. And a sponsored athlete.
Right. Who's contractually obligated to represent the company. And then your 14-year-old makes the games. What do you do? And I think, and we'll ask them up front, but the indications I get are that Lynette would go with Leah. But that means that Rudy would be without his coach at the games.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
So, yeah, you could FaceTime, Kenneth, but if you've not seen them interact at a competition, it will definitely be an adjustment for them.
Agreed.
Rudy does not have to think about anything. They think during the week, and then when it comes game time, she has the plan and she talks him through it. So he has it right before he goes on the floor. So it's going to be interesting. With that, what's your pick for Best Picture?
I don't know.
Yeah, the way it's trending, I think it's going to be Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I feel like now I need to watch that.
It's on what, like Peacock, I think.
Okay, I think we have that. Yeah,
for free.
Okay.
And then the Emma Stone movie, Pretty Little Things, or
haven't seen
something.
it.
It just came to Prime for free.
Okay.
So it's won a bunch of like the art, like the makeup and hair and costume and all that. Oppenheimer, Robert Downey Jr. won Best Supporting Actor. And then there's the flowers of the killing of the flowers of the whatever. It's got De Niro and DiCaprio in it.
Oh, really?
And it's free on Apple, but it's a 4-hour movie too.
I feel like all these movies that get selected for this are like weird movies. They're not movies that I like usually.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel said with this year's nominations, he went to the movies and had to have his mail forwarded to the theater.
That's great.
So yeah. And then like people were already complaining about how long the Oscars were going, and Kimmel said, if you were at an AMC theater, you'd still be watching the previews right now. So chill out.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I was trying to build my stadium while I'm just listening, and looking for that piece for 45 minutes before I gave up and came down here. All right, guys. The Emma Stone one, Kenneth says Emma Stone one is weird. I'm not watching it. Wad Zombie said it has tons of sex scenes. KDL. Got to fast forward through those. Yeah, Oppenheimer. I was building my stadium again while Julie was watching. I was listening to the dialogue, and I turned around, and Oppenheimer and his girlfriend are butt naked on the screen. I was like, "What the heck?" I thought this was about building a bomb.
No, they gotta spice it up.
Apparently. But the dialogue was great. Like I was listening along to the story. Like it was fascinating. So I can't wait. I'll probably watch the end of it with her, but we'll see. So, all right. With that, we will catch everybody next time. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. Wad Zombie, tell me what you find out. We're here to support you any way we can. You sent me that shirt. We can collaborate whenever. Build the shirt, and they will come. With that, we will catch everybody next time on Thursday Night CrossFit Talk, combined with versus Through the Ages. See you next week. Bye, guys.
We're about to